Administrator Bolden, how were the meals you ate on your shuttle mission?
How were we able to eat? Was that the question?
How were your meals?
Oh, how was the meal? Great. We don't eat from tubes anymore. Now you have to remember, I flew in space between 1986 and 1994, so this was a long time ago. They could have screwed the food up since then. But when I was flying, we had small containers that were roughly, I don't know, maybe several centimeters square. And we would take the top off. You'd add water. A few ounces of water would rehydrate the food that had been dehydrated for storage to go to space. Food consisted of things. My favorites were shrimp cocktail, jumbo shrimp with cocktail sauce. I like rice, so we had regular rice. It was like a steamed rice, and you add the water, hot water to it. It rehydrates it. I'm a big vegetable eater, so things like green beans and greens themselves I really like. And then fluids you sip through a straw, but I don't think I had a favorite drink. But those were some of my favorite foods, and I found them to be delicious. It varied from person to person as to how you like the food. Some people had an increased sensitivity to salt. Other people, the food tasted bland. So it just depended on your individual taste buds and your individual sensory system once you got all over it. Because things, in some people, the sensory system does change a little bit. Did we get to eat meat? We did. And we had, we had a selection. You work with a dietitian prior to going on your flight, and you have a great choice of things you can make as your meal. And so if you wanted steak, a favorite was a little 8-ounce ribeye. And you had it prepared. If you like it rare, then they fixed it rare. And then it was irradiated, so as to make sure that no bacteria would grow in it. They kept it in a foil container to keep germs and stuff out, and it had its own gravy in it. So you would put it on, we had a food warmer, which you put all the hot foods in the food warmer, ran for a couple of minutes, and it heated it up. Not a microwave oven, but very similar in appearance to a microwave oven. Our food warmer, all it did was it had tubes running around on the inside through which we ran water, and you heated the water. So the hot water, the heat from the hot water would go into the cooker or into the food warmer, and that would heat your food up. If it was cold food, you just use cold water. Cereals, for example, we had cereals. Fresh fruit for a few days. The fresh fruits, bananas, seem to be a favorite, except until you eat it and put it in the trash. So you had to make sure you really wrapped it up and taped it and everything to keep odors from emanating from the trash compartment. But we had fresh grapefruit, fresh oranges, peaches, apples, and all of those things. But again, it's just like you're on Earth. They had to eat that in the first few days, otherwise it was spoiled. On the International Space Station, I'm not certain that we're able to use fresh foods because now you're there for 6 months. I tell people all the time on shuttle, it was like a camping trip. You weren't truly living and working in space. You were there, but you were there for 9 days was a long time, 14 days was a really long time. Now, on the International Space Station, people live and work in space because they're there for 6 months. And so the food is a little bit different than it used to be. And they don't have access to a lot of the fresh foods like we used to.
Thank you.